Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 73. Before we start, guys, we just want to throw a shout out to all the fans. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for showing support. Again, please hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. Please email us at ratedgforgamers@gmail.com. We love to hear from you. And as we always start the show, I am Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man? Well, as we start the show, you are the host with the most. Well, sometimes the most. Sometimes
I'll take
sometimes
it. Host with the
sometimes
most.
Sometimes you're less the most. You know?
What? Don't give me the compliment and then just diminish it right away.
I can do whatever I want with my compliments. I can do whatever. I'm a grown man. I can do what I want with my compliments.
Are you a grown man gamer though? That's the
question. I am a grown man gamer, baby. GMG. So are you.
I tossed you a bone there. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Listen, you opened the door and I ran through it. Listen, we gotta get that hashtag rolling. GMG from Man Gamers. Just because Dave loves that name so much, we gotta coin it.
Oh yeah, no, it's my favorite. I love it like I love the Order 1886.
Which once you play it, once you actually play it, because it's in his collection, he said it last week.
You are correct. I picked it up last week and mentioned it on the show.
He will nominate it for Game of the Year in 2017, guaranteed.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've been having some trouble with the Nintendo eShop.
You know what? I just want before you call it Nintendo eShop, I just want you to know that was a horrible segue because we were talking about PlayStation. But go ahead.
I got some grievances. I got some anger.
Woo! We're resurrecting gamer griefs.
I want to relate. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I got a gamer grief at the top of the show. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Nintendo. Fix your eShop. I don't know what it is.
So what's wrong with the eShop? Because, me and mostly everybody else, we have no issues. Now you can save your credit card information on there.
Yeah, well, that may be part of the problem. I don't know. So I have bought things on the eShop before, and everything was copacetic. It was fine. I bought Shovel Knight, the complete edition. It was great. I attempted to buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 2 weekends ago. Wouldn't let me do it. I actually had to borrow my friend's card and then Venmo him the money for the game. That's how ridiculous it got.
And then the game came in the mail.
And the game came in the mail on Monday, and I had to return that to Amazon. That's a whole other thing. That's Amazon's fault. So I tried to buy this game on the eShop for like $5. I'm like, oh, maybe they resolved the card thing or whatever. I don't know. I put my card in like 5 times. They're like, please verify your card information. Put it in again. No good. So I called up Nintendo. Actually, I found their phone number. Called them up. And they were as helpful as they could be. They were very nice, and they did everything they could. They checked all the stuff on their end to make sure everything was copacetic, and they said, yeah. I said, it's not on our end. Your card should work. I said, my card has worked. It is not working now. I don't know what to do. And they basically told me to call my bank, which is weird because there's no other purchases that I've ever had issues. So,
well, maybe, did you actually call the bank, make sure they had any restrictions or anything on your card from buying from anything?
I haven't. I'm going to. I'm gonna probably give them a ring after the show and see what's up. But it's just weird that why would they only block the Nintendo eShop?
I don't know. I just bought. I almost called it NBA Jam because that's what it reminds me of, right? NBA Playground.
Oh, right.
I just bought NBA Playground. Now you can save your credit card information. It's awesome. Should have been there from day one, but whatever. That's nitpicking. And I got to say, NBA Playground it's an okay game. If you are a big sports fan, it's the first sports title for the Switch. Get the game. If you're a casual fan, I can't recommend this. The game is just the aesthetic is cool, but the gameplay is pretty difficult. It's like complicated. It's not as easy as pick up and play type of game as NBA Jam originally was.
I see. So it's a little less arcadey, a little more simulation, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, but I put my credit card information in; it worked perfectly. I've had zero issues.
Well, they have that little ticker next to it. Yeah, I know.
I've had zero issues with my card information, and I've had zero issues with the Wi-Fi. Because people have had Wi-Fi issues. Remember when this Switch first came out? People had Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah. My Wi-Fi's on point, surprisingly. Like, that's okay.
Yeah. And I had no Joy-Con issues. Remember the left or the right? I forgot which one it was.
The left one had the issue, yeah. They had that little piece of foam that was missing.
So I had no issues with the Switch so far. I got to be honest.
Well, I guess same save for the credit card for me, so.
Well, same other than the credit card.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
I mean, I think actually, I take that back. My only issue was, I kept the dock. I kept the Switch in a dock, and then for a minute, before Mario Kart 8 came out, I was only playing TV like 90% of the time, and I would just cut the Switch on, and the dock wasn't working, and I would disconnect it, hit it with the the can of air just to make sure it wasn't too dusty, and I found out like. If the Switch is on, like already in the dock, and then, you cut the Switch on, it should work. But for some reason, like the dock just doesn't work. Like if you don't, after a while, I guess the dock cuts off. And if you cut the Switch on, it's still, you have to like undock it and then dock it, and then it works.
Again,
yeah. So I didn't know that. So that was like, for a minute, I was like, does the dock not work? Now I can't switch it. It's just a Wii U in my hand. So yeah, that was my only issue with the Switch. Other than that, still a great system. We're still talking about it all these weeks later after launch.
Yeah.
It's a craze. Everybody wants a Switch.
It is. They're still selling like hotcakes. They're doing phenomenally well. They're gonna beat their projected numbers. I can guarantee it.
Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I mean, it's still selling like hotcakes. My uncle wanted to buy one for his granddaughter. From my little cousin. My uncle was like, he couldn't find a Switch anywhere, and I was just like, Unc, like you see all these games here, you didn't come to me, and I got it the next day. Like I found it.
Of course, because we know where to look.
I know where to look. Like he was going to Toys R Us because that's the only thing. Like to him, it's still a toy, and Toys R Us was sold out everywhere. So, but anyway, still love the Switch. Still, playing NBA. You know what?
NBA Battlegrounds.
Screw it. No. I'm changing the name. It is no. I'm changing the name. It is NBA Jam. You're on fire. You're just not on fire. You're just not on fire. But anyway, as we try to always actually start the show, Dave, what are you playing?
Well, I'm back on that Breath of the Wild train.
Did you beat this already?
I'm back in, baby. Yeah, but there's so much more to do still. There's like half the game I haven't even beaten.
Now, what do you like? Since you beat Ganon, what's like? Is the Hyrule Castle still like? I don't know. Like after you beat Ganon, can you go back and play him again, or is he just?
You can go right back in and beat Ganon again. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it logs that you beat the game. I think it marks your save file with a plus, if I'm not mistaken. But like if it was funny because after I beat it, I went back to it and. They start you off right in the chamber before Ganon's chamber, and I mistakenly walked into Ganon's chamber by accident again, and I was like, oh, I am fighting Ganon again. I did the reset and booted it up again, and then just kind of went away from Hyrule. But yeah, I mean, you can just keep doing it again and again.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I was doing the Korok trials, right? Because there's all those like things in the forest. And there's all those extra shrines in there, so I got to do that. There's that town that you can help build, which I started and never finished. I have my house, so there's so many more things you can get for your house. There's a bunch of shrine quests that I still have to complete, like
200, 300.
Yeah. Still got a bunch of Korok seeds to go, so
Are you 900?
I'm not gonna get them all. No, I don't need to get a golden piece of poo. I'm good.
Are you trying 100% the game or something?
No. But I mean, I do want to try and get all the shrines. I do want to try and get through a decent number of it.
Are you gonna buy the DLC? Are you gonna buy the DLC?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, we talked about the DLC like 2 episodes ago, but I don't think we ever discussed if we're actually gonna. I mean, we discussed if it's worth it, but I don't know if we ever say we're actually gonna buy it.
Yeah, I mean, are you not gonna get it, or are you content with how much is in the game right now and you're good?
Well, see, you already beat the game.
I did.
So I'm trying to avoid Ganon.
I'm trying for the very end. Yeah.
I'm trying to save Ganon until where it's like I'm winding down, where I'm like, I don't know if I want to play this anymore. Then I'll go to Ganon. But I'm trying to get all the shrines, all the seeds, as much as I can be while I'm still like
into it.
Sold on into it. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really need the DLC, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much there already. It's almost unnecessary.
But the DLC, like making it hard mode and having the sword always be, glowing. All that doesn't appeal to me.
Tower challenge, yeah.
Yeah, all that doesn't appeal to me because I'm just exploring. Like I'm just doing exploration on it. So I'm trying to avoid Ganon, like I said, for as long as I can. I haven't gotten too bored with it as of yet, but that's only because I've had other games like NBA Jam / Playgrounds.
It's the new TT games.
It is the new TT game to break it up for me. But I got to say, NBA Jam, NBA Playgrounds got old pretty quick after 2 or 3 plays. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to this. The controls are so much. Maybe I need to try. I've been playing handheld mode all the time. Maybe I need to try it on TV with the Pro Controller. Maybe it'll be a little better. Because you need sort of precise
button.
You need that precise button mashing to actually.
Wait, that sounds like an oxymoron. Precise button mashing.
Well, you need precise mechanics. It's the cans are very precise.
I think. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever. I can only say it the way I say it. Button mashing. Precise button mashing. That's how I got through Killer Instinct. Okay, buddy.
Hey, no, same man. That game was tough.
That game was tough. So, all right. What else are you playing besides Zelda? It can't be just Zelda. Because I know you love Zelda, but it can't just be Zelda.
No, it is not. It is Zelda and Final Fantasy 15. Zelda on the go, and I'm actually trying to progress in Final Fantasy 15, and it's going well. I am moving through the chapters, so I'm making some progress. Although that game is also very expansive, and there is a lot to do in that game. So,
okay. Well, you know what? We should have said this at the top of the show. But you got to excuse us. We're both feeling a little under the weather today. But we had to come, and we couldn't miss another week. We already had technical difficulties 2 weeks ago, so we definitely didn't want to miss another week. So I don't think we've played a lot of games this week because we're pretty much under the weather. I mean, we're in New York. The weather's crazy. It doesn't know if it wants to be summertime or wintertime.
Oh God,
it's cold or warm, and now it's raining all day. It's been like a thunderstorm all day.
The worst.
So. Throw that out there. I've been playing NBA Playgrounds. I've played some Zelda. I finally beat Battlefield 1.
Nice.
Finally.
Nice.
I got to say, long time coming. I know. I should have beat it before, but then
the man who protested thoroughly, I don't like this game. There's too many stealth elements in it.
In my defense, the first story arc, because it's like 5 different story arcs you play, all different. They all have a separate ending to themselves. The first one, after halfway through that first story arc, there is like a stealth mission you have to go through.
Yeah.
And I just was turned off by it. I was like, I don't want this. And then Titanfall was coming out, and then Call of Duty was coming out a week after that.
Sure. It was a heavily saturated holiday season for sure.
So now I skipped that one and I went to the other story arcs and I beat them all. And I was just like, this is fantastic. This game is fantastic. Just that first story arc where, you got to, stealth your way through, just enemy lines. That part should be cut. But other than that, it's a fantastic game.
So like 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
I wouldn't call it a 9 out of 10. 8.8.
8.8 out of...
I'll give it an 8.8.
In typical game journalism fashion. It's not
There we
quite
go.
a 9, not quite an 8.5.
Yeah, there you go. See, listen, it's not a 9, but it's definitely more than an 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
All right.
Well, you know what? I don't want to hear that. At least I played the game, Mister. It's still sitting on my shelf, sealed.
I have a big backlog. I will admit. I got to get into it. Look,
Zelda. You beat Zelda already. Put it down.
I have. Well, I mean, I'm only really playing that on the subway, so it's not really getting into my home game time. But after Final Fantasy 15 is The Order. The Order is the next in order. I will be playing and beating The Order 1886. You should be happy.
I am happy. You can beat that in 2 days, and then you can pick up the Battlefield.
I feel like it's not going to take. You said it was like 5-6 hours, right? I could blow through that in one night.
Yeah, well, just to be fair, Battlefield ain't exactly a long game either. If I would have actually dedicated some time to this, I could have beat it in like 6 hours as well.
Oh, okay.
So Battlefield is right up there with
it's in the queue.
Order.
Don't worry.
Okay, all right.
It's in the queue.
So I haven't really been playing a lot of stuff other than that, and I gotta say, I know we try not to make our shows Switch heavy, but playing that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh yeah.
Play more of that. That's pretty much dominating my time.
The game that should have been like $30 to $40. But I get it.
It's a new game. I told you, it's a new game.
It's a new game for a lot of people, I'll tell you that, because a lot of people just dismissed the Wii U, so there's a lot of people who haven't played it yet, and they're playing it now.
So,
I mean,
go ahead.
Okay. Oh, because I was going to say, like, we reported last week or the week before that it's the best-selling game on the Switch, right?
It is. It's not the best-selling game on the Switch. It's the Zelda sold more Zeldas than Switches.
Right.
The attach rate is like over 100%.
Over 100%, yeah. Which is weird.
But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold. It was the best-selling game on Amazon.
Right.
We said that last week. Right. And then Mario Kart Deluxe I think it's like a 50% attach rate to Switches, which is like they always pick that metric that works for them. Well, this is the fastest Mario Kart selling Mario Kart in the first 6 weeks of selling.
That sounds like a certain podcaster I know who loves to do that with his PS4 facts.
And Danny S. Punk needs to check himself for being a fanboy. He really does.
True. This is true.
So yes, and he reminds me of another fanboy that just that he's kept his mouth shut during the Xbox One, but when Xbox 360 was dominating, he was all over the place, beating his chest. So
I don't think we had a podcast when the 360 was dominant. So
Well, I'm just this. We didn't have a podcast, but that person was still beating his chest. We should have had a podcast. He could have been a fanboy.
Agreed.
So, did you get any pickups this week?
No,
we rarely talk about our pickups. I mean, we keep that, I guess, mostly to Instagram, but we should really talk about that.
Mm-hmm. I had my pickup game this week was as good as the weather was this week. Terrible. Nothing.
That was a horrible. Just letting you know. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. You are. Listen, Dave is sick. I excuse.
It fits my pickup game. That joke was terrible. The weather was terrible. My pickup game, terrible. I got nothing. I went around to a bunch of Goodwills and Salvation Armies. The usual haunts. I was poking around online. I didn't see anything good.
So So today, I went to about 2 different Salvation Armies, 2 Goodwills. 2 of them were busts. One was a semi-bust, and one was it was okay. So one of them, actually, there was a semi-bust. They had a whole bunch of PS2s. I don't want to say a whole bunch, maybe like 5 or 6 PS2 games. And one of them actually had a disc in it. The other ones were just cases and manuals.
Oh, that happens all too often. Either people steal them or people steal them.
Or it gets donated without it. So
sometimes that happens too. Yeah, they just don't check inside for some reason.
Well, no. Well, it's not that. It's not for some reason they have a lot of stuff they have to put on the shelves, and
I'm not faulting anybody for that. But
so I would say this: if you do go to Salvation Armies and Goodwills, make sure you check to see if there's a disc inside because they will charge you for it.
Yes.
Like it's a game inside. So
Yes.
they were going to throw it out, and I was like, well, I'll take it. I came home, found those games on Lukey loose for like $2 or $3 a piece, and bought them, and I'll just complete them.
Nice.
So, and it would have been the same amount of money I would have paid for them if they would have had the disc in it. So I'm not really losing out or anything. And then at another Salvation Army, no, it actually was a Goodwill. They tape the cases together. They tape the case. So I guess they do look at it to make sure it has games in it, and they tape it so you don't steal it. So I got a pleasant surprise because I got a bunch of PS3 games. I got Battlefield 3, which I didn't have. I got Disney's Epic Mickey 2, which I had for the Wii U. I didn't have for the PS3. Don't die on me, Dave. Don't die. Live.
I'm
Dave,
good. I'm good. I'm good. All right. Keep going.
I had Lego the Movie.
Oh, yeah.
For PS3. And then I had Modern Warfare 2, the limited edition hard case. And in that hard case was a bunch of other loose games. Assassin's Creed Revelations for PS3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for PS3, Call of Duty Ghosts for PS3, and FIFA 15 for PS3.
You know that actually reminds me. That happened when I picked up a couple of those 2 wrestling PS1 games a couple weeks ago. They had Need for Speeds in there as well as the wrestling games, and I kind of just like, I don't even know if I cracked them open or not. I think I may have glanced at one of them real quick and go, this is good. Like, case was in like perfect condition and it wasn't cracked, and I'm like, this is awesome. Took them home, opened them up, and then I was like, wait a minute, another game in here. Wait a minute, there's another game in here. So yeah. Sometimes you get that good fortune.
So now I know to, keep going back there because I know they taped their cases shut, and maybe a little gift in there. Let me keep going. So no breaks today. It's a short show. Not a lot going on this week, and not to mention we're both feeling under the weather, especially. So we'll keep it short this week. We don't want to go too long. No convo of the week this week, but we have a special convo of the week next week. Stay tuned. So all right, let's just get into the news.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's stick with retro. Now, you remember that Super Nintendo PlayStation prototype that someone found in their garage?
We saw it in Portland at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
We did.
Awesome.
It was weird to see, a Sony Nintendo system. Like, it was just weird.
Right. I mean, we all knew about the partnership that failed, and Nintendo went with Philips CDI, and we all know how that went. But,
thank God, because now we have the best, the best-selling console right now, and it was the best-selling console. Version 2 is the best-selling console. Just saying. Just saying.
No, yeah, 100%.
So this hardware hacker, Ben Heckendorn, send it 10 times fast.
He's got the Ben Heck Show on YouTube, I think, right?
He's known online, as you let me say it. He's known online as Ben Heck. I know what I'm saying.
I'm jumping into your story here. Sorry, I'm excited.
You're excited and you're coughing all over me. He actually got this thing to work.
Yeah, so I've been kind of following this for a bit. Ben's done a number of YouTube videos on it. Each time he kind of disassembles and gets a little bit more of it working. Like I think the first thing was like he couldn't get any cartridges to load, and I think there may have been some bits on the inside, some caps or whatever that were busted, and he started playing around with some stuff, seeing what was working, what wasn't working, and I think like the first video he managed to get Super Nintendo games to play, and he was playing like Street Fighter 2 on it. Which was awesome, but he couldn't get the CD-ROM working right. So then in this latest video, which came up, I think even like this week, he managed to get the CD-ROM drive to play. Now, granted, there are no games for it, right?
It's all fan-built games, right? Okay.
So first, what he did was he tried to get like CD audio to play. And he managed to get a audio track boot up, and he was able to like use the CD functions. So that was kind of cool. And then to test out like the gaming side of things, somebody, or actually a couple people, made some kind of homebrew ports, but they don't have a system to test it on. They're kind of just going off like specs and diagrams that have been posted online, so they're kind of flying blindly. But he downloaded a couple things. He got those games to boot. They apparently had some bugs in there, so they updated, the people who made those homebrews updated their code, and then the games worked. And the games that people were making, I mean, they're very simple, right? Because, nobody really knows anything about this, and the information out there is very limited. So the fact that people could program anything for it is fantastic.
Well, I mean, they let him borrow this, right? They didn't sell it to him or anything.
Yeah,
they
Ben
pretty much loaned it to him.
Yeah, because he's masterful with electronics and whatnot, and he's got a YouTube show, so he can kind of record it for like history and whatnot, and have it up online so that everybody can see it. Like, they want this to be gaming history that people can kind of see and eventually maybe even play, which would be kind of cool. I'd love to play a game on it. I think that'd be awesome.
Okay, I don't know if I want to play a game on it.
I mean, it was cool to see, though, right?
It was cool to see. I mean, look, I have a Super Nintendo. I already have a PlayStation. I don't really need to do that.
Sure.
So okay, let's go next. So let's stick with Nintendo. Nintendo actually has released their E3 plans for 2017. Mm-hmm. Nothing different, no surprise. They're not going to have an actual live press conference or anything like that. Mm-hmm. They're gonna go out on, I think, on Tuesday, as they always do. Mm-hmm. They go out after everyone else, and they'll talk about Super Mario Odyssey. They're gonna have a Treehouse Live. So they changed it. They're not calling it a Direct. It's like a Nintendo Spotlight. Mm-hmm. So they sort of rebranding it. They're not gonna, I'm sure there'll be some surprises in it. I don't know if they were gonna get any major surprises. This is where the new 2DSL, Nintendo 2DSL, should have been announced, but whatever. I'm sure they're gonna talk about that. If you need to pre-order that or Hey Pikmin, you can pre-order it as of today. It is unavailable to pre-order at Amazon right now, so I'm going to go to GameStop probably during the week and see.
Not available as in sold out?
As in, if you try to pre-order on Amazon, you can't. But you can. Hey Pikmin, you can pre-order it.
Oh.
So, and they're going to have like a Splatoon 2 tournament. And I think they're going to have like a invitational ARMS tournament, because they're really trying to push this ARMS as a actual thing, an actual tournament for the competitive scene.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good thing. They have Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers, obviously, big competitive play.
No. Smash Brothers Melee is the big thing. Everyone's still playing it 15 years later. But do you think ARMS can actually be? Do you think ARMS can actually be a competitive thing? I mean, I doubt something that's motion. We have, but motion controlled. Listen, Mortal Kombat is a competitive thing.
You don't have to use the motion control though. I bet you anybody who's going to play competitively is just going to use the sticks as sticks and not the motion.
And I bet you this is not going to catch on. This is not going to be an Evo, and if it is, maybe it'll be this year.
I don't necessarily know if it's going to be like Evo level, and I don't think it's necessarily going to eclipse Smash. But I think it can get some. It can definitely get some competitive play. I can see it being kind of nuanced. I like it. I like the game.
Listen, you can't. Like. Competitive. When you're competitive with a game, it has to be precise.
Sure.
That is not motion control. I can see this.
Yeah, but you don't have to use the motion though. It's just not. It's another way to play. It's just like okay, wait.
This was This was made for motion control.
Wait a minute. It's. You can make the same analogy with Smash, right?
No, I can't because there are no motion controls in Smash.
You can play it with a Wiimote. You can play it with a Wiimote. Anybody competitively is going to use the GameCube controller.
Actually, this is where your argument holds zero weight.
What do you
mean?
Play Melee. They have an alternate way to play, and it's obviously not going to be used for competitive.
Actually, no, because people play Smash Brothers Melee. There is no Wiimote
Yeah, you can use the Wiimote and play it. You can.
Melee, GameCube.
Oh, you talk about the old school game.
Melee.
But they still have four, like Smash 4 gets competitive play.
Melee is the top Smash Brothers competitive scene. Like that, it's the Melee game. No other game is bigger. As far as
like Smash 4 is still a thing though. People play Smash 4. People like Smash 4.
People play Smash 4, but if you want to argue that you're a great Smash player, you have to be good at Melee.
Oh, I agree. But I'm just saying Smash 4 has the same situation. There's alternate ways to play, but they're just not as good.
Yeah, but that Smash 4 is not a thing. Like,
yeah, it is. It's not as big of a thing.
It's not a big of a thing. It's not. Smash Bros. Melee is the Smash Brother competitive scene.
I mean, like Street Fighter 5 still has competitive play, but 4 is the superior game. You know.
Yeah, but if it is.
Okay,
but,
I'm just saying.
But again, that goes on what I'm saying. You just said the new game still has competitive play, but the old game still holds. It's still the bigger thing. Yeah, that if you want to be a Street Fighter character, if you want to be like a big Street Fighter, competing in competitive play, you're gonna play Street Fighter 4, not 5.
Well, sure. It's quantifiably the better game.
Slightly different mechanics.
But I mean, do you really think the fact that it has motion controls is going to hold players back?
I get Shake Shack bet on it. That's how much it is. That's how much I believe in it.
I don't know how big it's going to get, but I feel like it's going to have some sort of competitive scene. I would like it to have a competitive scene.
Very small. All
right.
I'm just telling you.
We'll see how it all shakes out. I mean, it's coming out in a couple months, so.
It was right around E3. That's why they're doing it. That's
is.
Why
yeah. I guess it's about a month and a half away, or a little less.
So you know what game is that going to be coming out anytime soon?
Mm-hmm.
The next installment of Mass Effect.
Oh, womp womp.
What? That was a great transition.
No. I'm not talking about the transition. I'm talking about how Mass Effect Andromeda is kind of flopping.
Well, listen, Bioware Montreal. You know, the future is on hold pretty much for Mass Effect. The Mass Effect, because remember, this is supposed to be a new trilogy.
Yeah.
The last two games didn't critically do as well, and the last game just was. It got a lot of sevens. It got a lot of sevens.
And look,
remember, this was not the original team that made the first three Mass Effect games.
Well, so. No. People have moved on, or they're on different teams, or
Bioware Montreal. This was their shot, and they had their shot.
Yeah.
And now they're going back to a supporter. They're put in a support role to sort of fix bugs and stuff like that. So. I wasn't a big Mass Effect fan. I didn't really play the games. I tried to get into Mass Effect Andromeda. I tell you, you need to get into any real action. I'm sitting here trying to, be a space cop. I
know. I said at the top of the story, I kind of dissuaded it a little bit, or not really sure what the best word to use is, but I don't wish any ill will on BioWare Montreal, right? We obviously want them to succeed, but they put out an average game.
I mean, everyone was just so focused on the facial expressions, which were hilarious, by the way. I got to say,
it's kind of a big thing. I mean, it kind of bit Ubisoft in the face when they had problems with Unity. At least BioWare Andromeda had faces.
Well, look. Listen, that was only for mostly PC people. Okay, just to be fair, you PC geeks.
I'm not gonna get back into that, but the console version had issues too.
The console version was okay. I haven't put Mass Effect back in. I got tired of being a space cop. I wanted some action. I couldn't really find any action. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I did a lot of talking and a lot of investigating, and that was pretty cool. But after a while, it was a little boring.
Right. You want to get in there and start mixing it up a little bit.
I traveled to different worlds. I put the probe out, and that was it. So I don't know what else I was supposed to do to get a little bit of action. It's the game was a little dry for my taste.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
So all right, let's keep with BioWare. So they had a new IP that they were actually working on. That the rumors said they were going to, unveil it at E3. Apparently, that's getting pushed back. So I don't know if there's going to be a big Bioware, new IP, sort of showcase at E3 anymore, because it's being pushed back now. They're saying it has nothing to do with, Mass Effect. It's all about making sure the game's right. So I don't think. My big prediction is I don't think they're going to announce any new IP at E3. I mean, they got to get over the sting of Mass Effect. They have a new IP that they really need to get right. So I think they're going to go back and tweak it, and make sure it's right.
Well, what are they going to show though? Like they have boot space, obviously. They have some stuff lined up,
Listen, man. Listen, I mean, look, new IP is hit or miss, right? I mean, it went great with Horizon Zero Dawn, not so well with like Quantum Break, right? So they want to be more on the Horizon Zero Dawn.
No, I think I think you're 100% right, but sometimes it's hard to shift late in the game like that,
Yeah. I think they hold back their new IP for now. And we'll hear something later on, like a press conference or a shareholders call or something like that. We'll hear more about
it. Right.
I don't think we get that big reveal just yet.
Right. Okay.
Speaking, I like to talk about studies on the show, especially when it's numbers. What's the highest selling console of all time?
See, here it goes again, looping it back around to the beginning conversation of the show.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I like numbers.
You do.
So there was a study done. I think they did a study more than like 2,000 people.
I read this study. Yeah.
Yeah, the Nielsen Games 360 report. So 2,000 participants, 60% of gamers aged 13 and up said they pretty much would buy a Switch. Like Switch is hot, man. Everybody wants to buy a Switch. I told you my uncle wants to buy it for his granddaughter, and my cousin's only like 4 years old. While 15% said the same for the PS4 and 13% for whatever the Scorpio is. We don't really care. Whatever. Blah blah blah.
So these kind of mid-generation upgrade versions or whatever, people are kind of a little lukewarm on them.
Yeah, well, the Pro, I don't have a 4K TV yet, and when I do, I'll buy a Pro because the Pro would be great. But as of right now, I just have a regular HD TV, and my PS4 works great. So me and every other 64 million of us, including Dave, we're fine. So I don't really need an upgrade.
Well, I mean, like I'm one of the fortunate few that does have a 4K TV. Kids especially, I doubt they even know the difference between HD and 4K. They just go, this is the TV in my house, this is what I have, and these are the gaming options available. They don't. I don't know if they see necessarily what the added value is in upgrading to a Pro or a Scorpio, even.
But it's just weird that during this survey, a lot of these people haven't even heard of a Pro, the PS4 Pro, or a Scorpio. But to be fair, the Scorpio is not the official name of this console. The console is just rumored as of right now.
I mean, like you kind of have to be following the news, Like they really don't. There's not a huge push or a huge advertising campaign for the PS4 Pro, like unless I'm wrong. I don't know.
And in the same study, a lot of these people don't recognize themselves as gamers. But then you ask them, what do you play? And they say they play all these mobile games, and maybe they play Mario games. And it's like, well, how long do you play these games? In a week. And if you play several hours, sorry to say, you're a gamer.
That's right.
So let's get this horrible stigma of being a gamer. You're just a nerdy kid in the basement. Or just nerdy kid that's an introvert that has no friends. Yeah. Sorry, you can game online and have thousands of friends.
Yeah, and okay. Let's also get the stigma out of mobile gaming too, right? Granted, it's not, it's just a different environment, a different way to play games. And some games work great on it, puzzle games work great, kind of shooters work pretty good, and Strategy games are good because you can just kind of tap around the screen and move your guys around. But, it's a legitimate gaming platform,
If PC gaming is a legitimate platform, so is mobile. That is my assessment.
Oh, what a not so subtle dig. Wow.
I'm just saying, if PC gaming is a thing, then
PC
so is
gaming's
mobile.
where it all began, by the way. I want you to know. All right.
And we've evolved so much since
PC gaming was around well before the Nintendo.
And we've evolved so much since then.
Yeah, I know. PC dominance is better than ever right now. It's crazy.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. How's Batman play? Ooh.
You name one game. I could
Mass
name you
Effect Andromeda. How's that working out?
I could name you a million games that came out during the
PlayStation
1, PlayStation 2, and even PlayStation 3 era that were, here's some PC games we're going to put on console, and look how horrible they play in comparison to the PC counterpart. But I'm not. I wouldn't do that. I'm
just saying. How's that Batman Arkham Knight looking?
Well, here's actually a serious question that I want to ask you. What will get you, and I'm talking to you, Daddy, specifically, and also the general populace. I'm kind of throwing this out there as a bit of a rhetorical question, I think. What would get you to buy a 4K TV? Because we're now starting to see gaming in 4K. We have 4K streaming available. There's some content where there was no content a year or two ago.
One of my two, because I have two TVs on all of my two HD TVs, they get busted.
Mm-hmm.
And two,
well, of course,
a high end 4K TV, not one of the lower end. High end 4K TVs comes down to like $500.
You can get a Samsung 4K.
The high end,
yeah,
high end.
Samsung
has lower end 4K TVs that are like $500-$600.
Yeah, but they're still great though. It's Samsung, it's Sony. You can get those at that price. Now, you're not gonna have like the extreme color gamut and all the extra bells and whistles, but it'll be 4K and it'll look pretty and it'll be reliable.
So
I
don't know.
I would say if you look this holiday season, you will find something that will be appealing to you in 4K.
I'm just not, and I'm not. It's just not something that I'm going to go out and go crazy over. I mean, I've seen 4K, I know 4K, and if I get a great deal and maybe one of my TVs gets busted, then maybe I will buy a 4K TV. But it has to be a great deal. So I'm not looking. I want a higher end. I don't want a lower end model.
No. I mean, look. Holiday season.
It's an investment because now I have to buy a new PS4. I have to buy the Scorpio, whatever it's called.
Well, I mean, you can have the benefit of a brand new TV. Obviously, like just in general, you're going to get a bump because you're going to get a newer model, which has better color, which has newer features, has more HDMI ports. Right? It'll probably have 4K streaming built into it.
You know what
right?
you sound like? You know what you sound like? You sound like a PC geek.
I sound like somebody who knows the value of a 4K TV. I more importantly sound like somebody who owns a 4K TV and is justifying his purchase ever since he bought his 4K TV.
Oh, you need a PS4. You need a PS4 Pro.
I'm putting myself on blast a little bit. I do. And if I had the money, I would definitely jump into that. I have the PSVR. I have a PlayStation 4 library. I have games that'll take advantage of it, and I have a 4K TV. You were 100% right. I should plunk down the $400 and buy the upgrade. So,
all right.
Well,
you know what? When Dave buys a PS4 Pro, then he could buy me a 4K TV, and then this would be a moot point.
Wow, it's gonna be a real good Christmas gift this year for you.
Oh yeah.
Nah, that's not happening.
So, all right, it's been a short show. Thank you for sticking with us. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and you can always email us at the email address ratedgforgamers@gmail.com. Please listen, like, subscribe, and as always, keep gaming.